I have a song called "I Can Trust You," and it's really about God. It hurts to give you what I must lay down, but when I let go, freedom's found. And then I can trust you with this. I can trust you with me. I can trust you. Just period. And I think that song represents to me this place that he was calling me to of, even if you don't bless me with this husband, even if you don't bless me with children, even if you don't bless me with this, and this is all of us, certain healing in a certain area of our life, or a certain dream coming true, or this thing that we long for, you are still good, and you are still kind, and you are still faithful, and you will still redeem, and you will still show up for me. He is God with us. He is Emmanuel. And I think that's what I'm learning in this life. That's what he promises. He doesn't promise us that all these dreams will come true. So I do think that there was this place of kind of laying it down.
Right.
Because in some ways it could have been seen an idol in my life.
Yeah.
And there was a place of surrender, of I will love you still, even.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really good and applicable to so many other things in our life as well. In fact, I'll read a quote here from your book that I think is really important for those who are in that waiting season. You say, if a person doesn't find contentment in Jesus in every season, they're not going to magically discover contentment once they're married. So I think that in that time, you were digging in, each of you individually in your walk with God, which made you that much more ready for marriage when the day came. And then, like you said, with that marriage came some highs and some lows, and some spectacular things, again, that some of us won't ever face, but also just so relatable. And so maybe share just a little bit about that. I know I've had a miscarriage before my kids were born, but you had a couple in there as well. So maybe share a little bit about some of the highs and lows, just touch on those, and then we'll let people read the full story, because you really are great storytellers. So the book is an excellent read.
Thank you for that feedback. It's super encouraging.
Oh, for sure.
Some of the lows. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to be almost forced to reflect on your life to the degree that we did in order to write this book. But it really is a beautiful gift to be able to kind of almost take a step back and get an outside perspective on your life from the beginning to the point where we are today. And I think a lot of the beauty was seeing points connect that we didn't see connecting in the midst of it, because it's hard to get consumed with your current situation. And even when God's working, it's almost hard to see his hand at play. But being able to be removed from it and see it from like I said, an outside perspective, you really see the intricate way God is involved and invested in every detail, even in the hard stuff. And I think that's what I walked away with in the reflection on our more challenging seasons, is just seeing God at work, even in the midst of silence that I had faced for the first time in my Christian walk. Because prior to our challenging season that we deemed the winter season, God had been exponentially clear with me on decisions and roads to take and paths when there was a fork in the road. But suddenly I was at the biggest turning point in my life, and I was met with just silence. And so even in the silence, from this perspective, seeing him at work, and really kind of gaining a new appreciation and gratitude for the hard times, because it's through those hard times that we learn and grow and mature. It's very hard to grow when things are great,
right?
Because you're not forced to
cling to Jesus.